joining us in our second episode of the Backyard Horse Enthusiast. I'm so pleased to be here with you. You've been a friend for decades. I'm thrilled to be able to have this conversation with you so that you can share with our viewers what your backyard experience has been. So that being said, I'm going to begin with the same 10 questions that will be shown throughout all of our episodes, and that brings some continuity to all of you viewers so that you know what to expect in every episode, and yet you will get a different perspective. So how long, Jodi, have you been involved with horses?
Since I was 2 years old.
Did you get your first horse when you were 2?
My mom bought me one of those bouncy horses that you get on, and they could not get me off of the bouncy horse.
And your mom went, "Oh, what did we do?" All right. So how old were you when you received your first pony or horse around?
They took me to the farm when I was 4, and they put me on this pony named Susie Q. And Susie Q was a brat, and everybody at the farm couldn't believe how I would make Susie Q not be a brat. And I just kicked her, and my trainer was from Argentina. Her name was Liliana Paletto. She was amazing. And so whenever Susie Q would stop, let's say before a jump, she'd say, "You pull out your crop and you smack her, and you make her go over the jump, and you yell at her." So they'd put me in horse shows, and you would hear my little voice become very strong, and not like it is now. Like I have my horse voice that just comes from I don't know where.
I'm sure everyone can relate to that. We all have our horse voice, and then we have our voice. Indeed.
Susie Q went over those jumps like there was no tomorrow, and my parents were from New York, Brooklyn. They got together. They were not horse people. They thought they switched me at birth. I don't know where I came from.
Who is this child of ours? Perhaps she isn't. So okay, you were quite young.
4.
Where were you in your life when you first brought your horses into your own backyard? And did you board in other facilities prior?
My dad from Brooklyn bought me a pony, and I was in 4th grade, and they built a barn. The builder's name was Mr. Kiter. I just remember him. He had no sense of smell, which is odd, but my mom would make apple pies while he was working outside. And I'd say, "Doesn't that smell so good?" "No, I can't smell it, but it tastes really good." I didn't understand that, but anyway, that's off the subject.
Wow.
But I was in 4th grade, and they bought me a pony that was $600 named Nutmeg.
Oh.
And Nutmeg was worth, to this day, she'd probably be worth $30,000. I rode everywhere on Nutmeg, and she took care of me. She was amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
She was.
Did you ever in your life board at another facility? Were you ever in a show barn? Has it always been backyard horse management for you?
I don't really have great experiences with show barns. I had very bad experiences with show barns. I saw horses being treated the opposite as they should be treated. And a blue ribbon worth 50 cents was never worth that to me. So I didn't do well in many show barns, but I love quarter horses, which typically end up in these show barns.
That's profound, that statement of the 50-cent ribbon and what the sacrifice these horses made so that a human could enjoy that 50-cent ribbon. That's profound for a young person to be so aware. What is your favorite part about about having your horses right here at home? What is your favorite part?
Going out to feed them in the morning at 6:30, I wake up, And they look at my cute husband.
And he is cute. I will add, yes, definitely. Maybe we'll get a shot of Matt. Maybe not. He's probably hiding now. Oh.
And then I say, babe, let's go out and feed the horses.
That's your favorite part?
Yep.
Do you make a coffee before you go out there, or do you just go out blurry-eyed and...
Lemon water.
Yeah.
Yep, this is my lemon water. Go out. I can't wait to get out there.
That anchors you for the day, do you think?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's beautiful. Is there a least favorite part about having them home? Because this is decades of you having horses in your backyard, as it is for me, so I can totally relate. But if there were like just an aspect of backyard horse keeping that kind of is like that maybe the audience should be aware of if they're considering coming from a show stable and wanting to bring their horses home, what's something they should really think about, before they make that plunge and that commitment?
You and I would say the same thing. Going away is the hardest part of having your horse in the backyard.
Somehow I knew you were going to say that. It's the truth, right? Yeah. You're like, no, you just don't pack your bags and board a plane. Like, there's a lot. And then the emotional part of being away, and is everybody really, 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 really okay? And I'm like, I'm in California and my horses are on the East Coast, and if an emergency comes up, can I get to them fast enough, or is the person that you put in charge capable of making that decision that it is an emergency, call a vet and all of that? So,
It's really hard, yeah, super hard.
But you still manage to find time, right? You make time to get away, right?
Yeah.
Because
we make time to get away, but sometimes Matt doesn't see it the way I see it. So that's a little bit hard too.
Right, you always got to take a spouse or partner into consideration, into the dynamics of horse keeping, backyard horse keeping, for sure. If you had advice for anyone thinking about where, maybe not where, but for anyone thinking, gosh, I really want to bring my horses home, I understand the part fully about, getting away. What else? What else might they consider or think about?
If they don't have an intuitive ability to see things, you really need to have many years of experience. They're super hard creatures to keep alive because they're the lowest on the order of the food chain. A vet taught me that once. So when I lost my best horse, that was in 2018. It taught me a lot. And it helped me get through it because they are not meant to live a long time. Their stomachs are very fragile and their legs are very fragile. And they're super, super, super sensitive. Nobody should be whipping them or kicking them or pulling on their faces. All the cowboy movies you see and the horse racing and the shows and all these fancy events, the horses are so unhappy. They're just very misread creatures. So I have to turn an eye to like Kentucky Derby. Everyone's like, oh, Kentucky Derby party. So I just don't really watch the TV or whatever. But you really need to know the language of the equine and how to keep them healthy and happy.
Would you advise someone who was thinking about bringing their horse or horses home to perhaps spend time versus just going to the boarding facility and tacking up and with an agenda and ride, to maybe spend more time observing their horses?
But just basically know how they work, how they colic easily. They don't know how to throw up like a dog does. They could basically die in 24 hours if they're not being watched. Like I just wormed them this morning, and you said, why would you worm them at night when you can't watch them? Makes perfect sense, but I was thinking the green grass, it's spring. This is a different thing in their system. Mm-hmm. So they're that temperamental and fragile.
And you're very cautious and in when you first begin letting your horses out to pasture in the spring, you introduce them slowly. I've witnessed this coming here where you're like, oh, the horses have already been out on pasture for X amount of hours. I need to bring, especially the ones that you know are more sensitive. I've noticed that you'll run out there and say, okay, that's enough, time's up, right?
Oh yeah. But I've learned a little trick after my pony colic the first year we lived here. We're on 9 acres of beautiful green lush pasture. Is you start doing the alfalfa Timothy maybe February or March to get their blood rich.
Makes sense.
I just picked up, no one told me that. I just picked up on it because I can't eat rich foods certain times. Mm-hmm. And yeah. So I started the pony and the rest of them on very rich, beautiful, very expensive hay, February, March. So their blood's already used to it before it turns green.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Very sound advice. For the rest of your living days, do you think you'll always have your horses in your backyard?
Is my husband listening to this one? That's a really difficult thing to answer if he's listening.
Is that your intention? Would that be your intention?
Yeah. I can't imagine living without them. They raised me. I told you that. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. On your list of important phone numbers to keep on hand, who's you don't have to name names, but you know, who's on there?
Vet. That's it. The vet. And if I am calling him on his cell phone, he's picking up because it does not happen often. Right. And he's there for me.
So do you think it's really important to establish a good relationship with your vet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when you're paying bills, they should be the first ones that
invoice
gets paid, right? Because
I pay right then and there.
Because without a doubt, when you decide that invoice, if they allow you to be invoiced, can sit for 30 days or pay it at the last second, that's going to be when an emergency arises and you really want to be in good standing with your vet. This is something that, bringing a horse home doesn't mean you don't have to take care of all those things any longer. They're still very important to your horse's health. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. That is so important to me.
Yeah.
He was with me when my other horse had to get put down. I called him 3 times before that, and the 3rd time when my horse needed to put down, he didn't believe me. Oh yeah, quick, I'll tell you quick. Friday, he says, I'll be here, which it was Friday. I'll be here in an hour. I could be there Saturday or I could be there Sunday to put your horse down. I said, you need to be here, in an hour, like you said, Friday. Are you sure, Jodi? Because I called him 2 other times. I said, I'm sure. Okay, I'll be there in 1 hour. My husband, who's not a huge horse person, but he knows how much they mean to me, took my horse over with the vet and did it. I couldn't do it. Could not do it. I'm still suffering over that one horse who was at a boarding stable. So the boarding stable didn't tell me he was injured till 5 days later. And he never made it to this farm, so I end up with 3 horses trying to heal my pain. So you get very connected with them, extremely connected, as much as a human being, maybe sometimes more. Yeah. So, yeah, the vets are very important. That vet was really, he's actually related to Matt, my husband, which is, I don't know how that ever happened, but Scott.
Divine intervention. Scott Sears. He's a great vet. Very, very great vet. And good people.
Yeah.
I know him and his wife. I know Wendy better, and Wendy is what a beautiful.
I would love to meet
You would love her.
her.
She's a beautiful human being. Her heart is this big. She's just meeting you. You are embracing. She is all love and just all good. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I want to meet Wendy really badly.
Their kids are Montessori schooled, and yeah, beautiful people. Well, my love, my beautiful friend.
That you're in front of my face. I can't believe it.
Thank you for this time.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for giving us a tour of your stable and your beautiful horses. And this is a very special place, and it's an honor to be a part of it. And with that, we thank you for showing up for another episode of the Backyard Horse Enthusiast. Stay tuned for future episodes. We really appreciate you being here. And if you like or love what you're seeing, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks a lot. See you soon.